First of all, we understand the FA Technical Director Dan Ashworth has been in touch with the club over the criticism of the handling of Jordan Rossiter. What's been said and how satisfied are you with the FA's response?
I'm 48 and I have to learn sometimes to take better words for things. But I've had the same problem in the German language, so it's not because of my English. But everything's okay in this moment, so we have to discuss this. That's for sure. They stay in contact, that's the truth. And yeah, now we will have a talk in the next few days. And, of course, I was not happy with the situation. Yeah, I could have informed them before I talked to you, but I forget it, and then we came to this thing, and then I said what I said. So it's not the biggest problem in the world, but it's a problem, and we have to talk about it. That's what we will do in the next days, weeks, whenever.
Now that you've had 2 games, both 1-1 draws, what have you learned, and what goals are you able to set now for the rest of the season that you would deem it a success?
I'm not sure if we should talk about think about this the rest of the season. On Sunday we have the next game, so that's much more important than what I expect on the rest of the season. So what we saw were 2 completely different games because of the style the opponent played, and it was a big challenge yesterday. To play against this team, experienced team, deep defending team, but very good in that transition game. Not real counter, but because they played about few position, David, ball holder, and then the other experienced players came. That we want to press, but right fullback, good footballer, very intelligent passes between the rows, very cool, very calm, and that's what we had to work with. Of course, for example, the goal is of course better to defend. That's what we should learn, but it's normal in football that sometimes you have to make the mistakes first, and then you can learn of it. And so we have to move a little bit more in the space where Emery came out. Joe could be a little bit closer. Then it's not easy for them to play this pass. In the last line, it's always difficult because in the box you cannot do what you want. You have to stay a little bit closer together. Kleiny could stay a little bit on the other side of the striker. Only 1 striker in the box. I think we were with 3 inside. Yeah, we could do this better, of course, but that's football, and I don't think we make the same mistake so often, twice. That's what we talk about today, of course, with the players. And then the situation was like you saw. We played. We had our ball possession, and against 10, it makes no difference if the opponent defends so deep. It's no difference if you have 10 or 11, because the only player who stay in front is out. So it was difficult, but I saw many good things, and we had the chances, we had opportunities, we had the crosses, we had all the things, and you make 1 goal of one of these, and then the game changes, and that's what we were working for. But the last moment was not good enough, and that's why we played draw. But it was completely different, of course, the game to the Tottenham game, and so 1 more experience, and next opponent is waiting.
Just in terms of your strikers last night, you went through a brief spell where it seemed like you had 2 men together up front. Is that an option for you going forward, or was that just necessity last evening?
No, of course it's an option. If all the strikers are fit with 4, then we have to think about how can we take that quality in our game. And of course it's possible if we play like this. I don't know in this moment if we play on Sunday with 2 strikers, but it's an option for sure for the future. And yesterday Christian and Roberto had two trainings with the team. Usually it's too early to bring them in a situation where you need them at 100%, but they did it well. I'm sure not at the best level they can play, but they did it well, and so now we are a step further with them, and that's what we try to. Christian a little bit was unlucky with the post. Roberto came better and better in the game. First two situations were not so good, but then he was in, and so it's okay. Two new options, very important options for Sunday.
And in terms of the Southampton game, how is your preparation? I imagine Peter comes in quite strongly, does he, with video analysis? Have you watched about 1 million DVDs since you arrived here?
Yeah, that's good. Of course we started the analysis of Southampton this morning when we came here. Our pre-match, and then we were together for an hour, I think. I know much more about Southampton because I watched them. I saw the game against Chelsea. Yeah, not too bad. And so I knew something, and now I know more. And now we have to look now how are the players after the night after a very intensive game, and then we will see what we can do for Sunday. But I think it's obviously what their strength is. Good organized, of course. They try to press high with I would say 6 players, and 4 stay a little bit deeper, last row. So maybe you can find a way to come there. You have to play football. If you can't, you have to play long balls. You have to fight for second balls. That's what they do. They want to play if you let them, and if not, then they have Pele. Good thing to do, to give him the ball, because he's very physical player, very technical, a really good striker. And they have Mane around him, big speed, very big talent, really good player. And you have Tadic on the left wing. But what I heard is the most crosses in the Premier League. That's a word. So you know how they want to play, but they are in a good shape. They had 7 points over the last 3 games. They were close to the next victory against Leicester, but maybe they closed the book a little bit too early, and then they came back and a draw. But good team, not an easy game. Next challenge, but we are top, and that's what we want to show.
Chris, can I say to you? Yeah, you said when you first arrived that you wouldn't see a completely new LFC straight away, but you'd hope to see some of the new LFC. You hope to see some of the new LFC in the first couple of games. Are there any specifics that you've seen already that have translated from training to the pitch that have pleased you so far?
And so many things what we did at training in the game, but no, I didn't expect that we will run through the league from the moment on when I started here and things like this. This league is too strong. The opponents are too strong. We have not enough time between the games to always to be 20% better in the next game or things like this. But I saw, of course, many things, and I'm not sure what was there before. But now, when I see the things we spoke about before the game, what we did in training, and see them in the set plays, I see it in the defense play. I saw that we knew that they will play like they play, with this deep formation and so on. And so we try to do it in 2 exercises to get to be prepared for this. I saw the things that you have to make this go. First of all, my first job is to give the team some ideas to come in the box, to be to be dangerous for them, that they have problems to defend and so on. And there were many good things. But of course, if you see the whole game and again you feel, okay, but here you could have done better, here you could have done better. That's the truth, of course. But that's football. It's always the same. And you don't think about these things after the game to make them the second and the third goal. But it's the same. Only with these two small and so big different. And that's I want the result with all my body gives me. But if it's over, I have to analyze next to the result. Result is then only one information. In this case, not masterclass information, but it's an information, and the rest is much more important. And that's how we work now. And try to give the right information to the players. We don't have to say, here you can make the goal, and here you have to make, and you have to pass. Sometimes you have to show them where the other options are. That's what we tried in half time. When we show, if we play here, then we have this space on the other side. Yeah, and then the boys have to decide by themselves. And sometimes it's better, and sometimes it's not so good. It's absolutely normal. So I'm still cool with the situation. If they stay healthy, these guys, then we can go on.
Jürgen, you talk about staying healthy. You mentioned Daniel Sturridge in midweek, that the target was going to be possibly against Southampton, that fans would get to see him again. What's the state of play with him? How is his fitness?
I spoke a few minutes ago with him. It's not much better at the moment. Okay, with Daniel's injury, we have to, how can I say, to see day by day. Do it. Always to see maybe a little bit better. If he can train, for example, tomorrow, if completely normal, then it's an option. Because of the break is not too long, and now maybe we don't have to talk about as a starter, but yeah, he's an option. But I have to wait for this. Today we have another treatment. I'm not sure. Another screen maybe, because there's a little bit fluid inside. Not much, only a little bit. I'm sorry, we have to see. But it's day by day.
So like another scan?
Screen, yeah, scan. Scan, not screen. Okay, sorry.
Mike. Jürgen, lots of hard work and lots of energy from the team in both the games since you took over, but maybe at times a lack of composure in the final third, and that's not an easy thing for you to give to the players, is it? How do you go about sort of solving that?
Oh, I trust in the quality of the players. That's all. It's really not easy to compare completely different things, but in my first season at Dortmund, we had 15 draw. We only lost 4 games, but we have 15 draws, so it will be, one thing was 6 at the end. If you want, it's a half win. We didn't lose. So it's important to get more stable. But I saw the pressure on the player, and they miss this chance or miss this chance, and time is running in the game, and 10 against 10, oh God, all these things. I saw this, but it's only important that you always in your middle to make the right decision in the right moment, timing. That's what we spoke about. And so they have the quality to finish. They have the quality to create chances. We created chances against a very deep defending opponent, and we created chances. We were 3 in the box. We had good crosses. We had Kleiny, I would say 1 meter next to the post. We had many situations where we were close to. That's the best news. Close to is better than far away. So stay, go on, try again. That's how we start. It's not a situation where we say, okay, passing, you are free. It's hard work. That's how football is, and so that's no problem. But we can work with these informations for sure. But of course, we need the player in the best shape, in the best moment, and so on. And so now we have these 2 new options. To how long we would see with how long we can bring in the game with Roberto and Christian. But they, of course, they have quality too. And then we will come in a situation. But it's only, I saw some players, they were so stiff and in a mind that now we have to shoot. No, not now. So we have to decide better, shooting, passing, and all these things. When we go in the box and you have one, for example, fullback to make the cross, then we have to the occupation to be better in the box. First post, second post, edge, all these things. But what I see is all one in the first post, all in the second post. But this is after this short time, and I think it's pretty normal.
Jürgen, just going back to the playing with two strikers, do you see a plan already how you can play Sturridge and Benteke? Because the modern trend is to play with one up and one off, really. So, do you already envisage a way of playing the two together?
Usually, all good players can play together. It depends what they, how they work for the team. That's very easy. We cannot play with 2 or 3 offensive players who only stay in front. For example, we defend with 7. You can do this if you are a world-class team with the best striker. For example, Barcelona can leave them, of course, because they perfect counter-pressing, perfect ball stealing, and then play. And that's not a bad idea. So we have to. That's what we have to use when they are fit, and that's the moment when I have to start thinking really about this, because in this short terms between the games, it's really difficult to think to get rid, to be visionate or what? What did you say? To think about the game in 4 weeks or something when they can play together, and so. Yeah, but for sure they can play together. That's no problem. But then we have to think about how can we do the rest of the team. But if they make 5 goals a game, we will find a way how we can defend without them. If they don't want to defend, but they will defend for sure. No, that's not a problem. They can play together. It depends then on them.
Does that mean you're asking more from your strikers then, in terms of how they deliver?
No, more. How do you?
In terms of, I mean, people think of strikers as being out-and-out strikers. You're saying you want them to do more in other areas of the pitch.
This is new information. Isn't it one of the oldest things you say about football? Defending begins far away from you. They don't have to run with the center back until our box. They have to close spaces for it. That the rest can defend more easy. That's all. To find the right position to make the opponent the biggest problems. You cannot always run between, but you have to help the rest of the formation. That's pretty normal. That's not the hardest job in the world. That's really no big problem. But if you do this in an intelligent way, then it's easier for the rest to defend, and then it's easier for you to get the ball back. All these things. So, of course, they have to defend like all strikers. Cristiano Ronaldo has to defend in his way. Thanks, guys.